Hello, hello, hello. It is I, not the true party king of games from the Mind Crush Palace, here with a special guest this week. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Sophie Cord. I'm a fairly new Edison player. I got top 16 at the recent Deck Devastator tournament. I don't really have any socials to plug or anything, so that's about it.
Cool. Well, I guess people can find you on Discord if they want to talk shop a bit more about the deck. But yeah, so
Yeah, definitely. I'm on the Edison Discord and everything, so.
nice. So the question of this week is triple Vortex Amaryllis Condensing Edison format. Because I actually also got, well, I almost got top 16. I got 17th place, cry. But I was really excited after I got knocked out when I was watching your game, because I was like, oh, let's see, we got a fellow Amaryllis fam up in top 16. Let's see what they're running. And I first see you mill Vortex. I'm like, okay. And I see mill Damage Condenser, and I'm like, oh, what?
Yeah, it's just your list. Well, not exactly, but something like it.
Nah, but it was, especially it's like the main deck. It was funny that I ended up posting something randomly that I was like, oh, this is actually pretty good. And then it wasn't until later I was like, you know what? I'll just run it too. But it still made some changes that probably were not as good as what you ended up running with in the main deck. So definitely tell me about, well, why don't you first talk about your introduction to Edison format and plants in general? Like, what drew you to the game, the deck, and then my list in particular?
I was looking for, well, my friend got me into Edison. He has a couple of decks that I like. I picked up Bio at first, is what I was first playing, and I liked it a lot, but he already owned the deck, and I didn't want to buy the same deck that he already owned, so I got to look on the Discord and I looked at the other lists that were there. I was like, oh, okay, Machina, I'll try this. That's okay. How do you agree to try that? I was like, okay, this is meh. And then I looked at Amaryllis and I started playing a few games with it, and I was like, wow, this deck is really cool. And I was playing, I think originally with a quick draw dandy kind of list that was in the pinned messages. And I do like Draw Warrior. Draw Warrior is one of my favorite cards. But I ended up, was like, okay, this list is fine. I tried the Cyber Valley list for a little bit, didn't really speak to me that much, and then I came across your list that was in the pinned messages from when you won, got top at whatever tournament it was, the Arbet, I think.
Yeah, New York, third place.
I started trying out the triple Vortex version, and I was like, wow, this list is really good. I think I originally had a quick draw synchron in here, just because I do like Draw Warrior, but I eventually cut it. And then I ended up buying all the Amaryllis cards because I was like, wow, this deck's really cool.
Sick. And you were smart to definitely cut that, because actually round 2, I ended up 2-0ing the Dad 100, the guy that topped with the quick draw Amaryllis deck. It wasn't even close, I'm sorry to say. In fact, we'll probably have some B-roll of that game running.
Yeah, I was like, this card's really great when it resolves, and when you draw with Dandy, but when you don't, then it's just kind of do nothing in your hand, and there's already too many of those in this deck.
Yeah. It was weird, because I tested that deck a bit too, and I found that there was a lot of weird comparisons between Lightning Vortex and Quick Draw. Both of them are kind of, discard cards that don't require a normal summon, that, put some amount of board state advantage, whether it's obviously giving you some guys or removing your opponent's guys. But considering the fact that sometimes you want to discard Titania, sometimes you want to discard Amaryllis, sometimes you just have to discard a spell. So you can't always guarantee the dandy. And what if I'm discarding Amaryllis, summon quick draw pass? That's not the vibe.
Yeah, no, definitely not. And you're not playing any twos or anything that you can still make like Turbo Warrior or whatever.
Yeah.
It's just dandy or bust.
No, it's actually funny looking back on my New York list. I was like playing Vortex and then made a bunch of locals. First I had one copy and I was like, oh, this is so good. Then I had two copies, like, wow, it's still like the best card. So when it came to like submitting my list for New York, I was like, screw it, we're here to make a statement. So I'm glad it probably ended up being better than what I ran, where I cited one and I was like, nah, yeah.
It worked out, yeah. You were citing the brain control, right? Or
Yeah.
maining the brain control?
Yeah, so I mained the brain control and Snipe Hunter instead of Vortex and third trade-in. So,
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, yeah.
Honestly, I would consider cutting the third trade-in. It's a little bricky, but not for Snipe Hunter because I have personal vendettas against that card.
No, Snipe Hunter is so good.
But then you roll the bad number.
I mean, the way I see it, a lot of times with Amaryllis, like you don't want to try and run Snipe Hunter in like a value advantage game where you're just trying to like beat over a medium-sized guy. Like you want to drop him down when you're up against a Catastor, Colossal, Oppression, Mask of Restrict, Imperial Iron Wall, Necroval. Like there's so many cards that just kill you and you're stuck with like 6 cards in hand that do nothing.
Yeah, for sure. That's definitely a little bit of a problem. Luckily, I didn't run into too many of those, so Snipe Hunter didn't come up.
Yeah. And I feel like definitely, with my experience with Snipe Hunter, you do not want to get addicted to the rolls because you can just, you win 2 in a row and you think, oh, look, just keep going. That's when it goes downhill.
Maybe not. Yeah. And always the Snipe Hunter body itself can sometimes trade into like a deep prison or something like that.
Yeah, no. I often will leave an opponent's like 1 or 2 back row. I'm like, sure, if you prison this, like, he's done his duty. He's done his duty.
Yeah, exactly.
So definitely I would say the brain control, it was so funny because that list, that card I didn't even side in my original New York list because I forgot. I'll admit I botched it. I cited triple Puppet Plant, but no brain control. And yeah, in retrospect, I know, I had a couple games where I'm like, my opponent has like 2 guys, and like I want a Vortex, but I also want a brain control. But if I brain control, then I can't Vortex.
Yeah, exactly. It's a little bit of an awkward situation.
Yeah.
But overall, the rest of the list worked very well. I really like the damage condensers. There's a lot of times when it wouldn't resolve. I guess I should describe it real quick. When you take battle damage, discard a card, special monster from your deck with attack less than or equal to the battle damage you took in attack position. Most of the time it's Lone Fire. And then what you can do is if you go for Lone Fire on your opponent's turn, you get back to your turn, you can go Lone Fire, tribute yourself for Giga Plant, normal summon the Giga Plant, Gemini summon it, and then special back the Lone Fire and get a Titanium from deck, which is really nice.
Yep. And with priority too.
Which didn't always resolve, but when it did, it was a very big tempo swing. It was very nice. Sometimes it just gets Caius, but when it doesn't get Caius and you actually get to resolve it, it's just can turn the game on its head really fast.
Yeah, no, I mean, I feel like Caius is gonna hit a Mirror Force, it's gonna hit something else that's pretty high priority. So the fact, and I feel like most of the time they don't really want to Caius your back row, because if it's like normally they know Amaryllis runs a bunch of chainables, so they normally really want to hit your monsters. So I find, if they're Caiusing your back row, you're kind of already in a decent position.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. Because half the time it's a Wing Blast and you just get to get rid of it.
Yep, just swoop, go away. We don't need you, we don't like you, go away.
I think a lot of the time when it was getting Caius or something similar, it was games 2 and 3 after they'd already been condensered once.
True. And then I feel like then it's good because you probably want to side out the damn, well, at least one of them. And so then they're more proactive at hitting your back row, but then you have a bunch of chainables, so you're like, oh, thanks for doing that. I just got a plus off of that.
For sure.
Oh my god. So why don't we both talk about some key moments? I feel like for me, I wanna talk about this, my sad loss to was it Scrub for Life? When he had one dead card that he didn't use last turn and a dad on field with only one Dark Engrave. I had a Wing Blast and I was like, oh my god, I have enough on field with my Amaryllis coming back to like hit him and go for game. So it's Wing Blast, like your dad, easy game. He's got a dead card. What could it be? The dead card was Allure of Darkness. And then he just went for brain control after banishing the dad that I put on top. I was like, oh no, and I lost. That was
Yeah, definitely a rough one.
high moment for Wing Blast right there. What about you? What was a key moment?
Ooh, I'm trying to find it, but I think my round, I want to say 6 against Vayu and Swiss, there was a time where I think, I'm trying to find it, but they flipped a Raikou on my back row and it was like one Wing Blast, and I was like, okay, they had set a monster turn 1, set a back row, and then they set another monster and passed back to me, so they had 2 sets in one back row. I go Lila on the back row and it's a torrential, so at that point I probably should have realized like, oh, this set monster is probably either a Vayu or a Plague Spreader. And then the next turn they flipped the Raikou on my Wing Blast, and I decided to chain the Wing Blast on their Plague Spreader. What it turned out to be, because Wing Blast puts it on top and then they immediately mill it with Raikou, and that translated into them milling 3 decks immediately, summoning Dad, and then just killing me that turn. So that was a little rough. I hindsight 2020, obviously that was either a Plague Spreader or a Vayu because they sets up a torrential with it. And so hindsight 2020, I should have just let it go and not use my Wing Blast, but it wasn't objectively the worst decision in the long run, but it was at the time. And I ended up losing that match too, so.
Yeah. No, what was going on with Vayus that day? And it was weird. I feel like I had a similar situation where I had a Wing Blast versus a Raikou, and I was like, in the back of my mind, I'm like, that's probably something I should just Wing Blast. But I hesitated, and I let him flip Raikou and target to pop it, and I did, because I had something I wanted to discard, like Amaryllis. I was like, screw it, put your Raikou on top so you have to discard it. But, yeah, no, I don't know. I feel like normally we have such a good advantage against Vayus, so it was kind of surprising that, like, at least for me, especially my only 2 losses were against 2 Vayu players that just like sacked the hell out of you. But my understanding of that deck is half of it is one of, so if they happen to open the perfect one ofs that happen to, you know, match against your situation, it's like, well, what am I gonna do?
Yeah, it's like kind of go format in Edison format.
Yeah, but you also probably lost to, what was it, Jinzo TK? You also lost to Jinzo TK, I remember you saying?
Oh yeah, I did lose to that too.
Oh God.
That deck is sacking you turbo, and I got sacked. I think game 1 you opened Future Fusion, Overload Fusion, and Limiter Removal. All limited to 1.
No! Oh my God.
I still made top cut, so that match I'm not too bummed out about. But if I didn't make top cut, I was going to be bummed out about that match because that was really bad. But that one was like Swift 2-0 in like 10 minutes. He just opened the limited cards, and I was like, all right, sure.
Oh my God. And in my Jinzo TK deck, I cut Limiter, or no, Overload Fusion, because I was like, that sounds too bricky. But I mean, you know, if you're the GOAT, I guess you're the GOAT.
Yeah, you just have to open the Future Fusion thing.
Oh my God. Yeah, I know. That was my whole mindset. But I guess the logic behind it is if you open the Cyber Dragon, and now your Future Fusion can no longer OTK. At least Overload can still do something, but like the whole point of the deck is to dump all the Jinzos. So like, why am I really focusing on Overload Fusion now if like I don't really have that much engraved to begin with because I didn't get my Future Fusion? So
Yeah.
but yeah,
I guess that
no.
helps you OTK through like Dandelion and stuff, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't really know. I'm not an expert on that deck, so.
Oh yeah, no, that's
Yeah,
I love.
it's weird, like.
Yeah, I love Gear Town decks too. So that's one of my favorites. I remember trying to mess around with Ancient Cure Drill to set the Future Fusion, but then Keegan pointed out actually a pretty good play where you use 2 cards that are already used in Ancient Cures, which is Magical Hats, to normally set 2 Gear Towns. But in this situation, if you have Magical Hats, set a Future Fusion, then Compulse it back, you add Future Fusion to your hand.
Oh goodness. Oh, the ways that we want to get to that broken card.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good card.
It is a very good card. It's just.
I know, I'm so sad. Because what is it? Scrub for Life got 7-1, but my other person I lost to got 5-3, and I feel like that was the determining factor.
Oh, that's rough. Yeah, I think the person that I beat in like round 4 or something that was their only loss the whole event, and they got first in Swiss, so that kind of carried me into top cut, I think.
Nice.
But yeah, it was weird because I lost to both of them. Well, it was just the one value player. I lost to the one value player twice, and they ended up knocking me out of top 16. So
Yeah.
it's maybe not as good of a matchup as we feel it is.
It's tricky because again, like at RBT New York, I literally faced 6 or 7, and I easily beat all of them. Only like 2 of them even took me to a game 3. Like most of them I was 2-0ing. So it's honestly kind of weird in terms of like the situation, because like I distinctly remember one game 2 against a value player that I 2-0'd. He was like, all right, normal summon Dyna, set bottomless, and I'm just like, tomato?
Yeah.
It's like, sometimes we open the perfect counters too, so I don't know. It's
Yeah, it is just the one-of game, I think, with Bio.
Yeah, because I just feel like their deck revolves so much around Brain Control, Dad, Caius, Raiko. So like if you manage to establish a Titanium with some tokens, like, and like they don't have oppression.
It's just getting them is the problem.
And the fact that most of them, like DDV doesn't really hurt us that much. If anything, sometimes that actually helps us. If like, it's like, oh, thanks, I just pop the Dandelion right away, now I got my tokens. But
Yeah, exactly.
I found, actually, yeah, in my other game, Skill Drain actually hurting me. Because he after I had Skill Drain up and I was, kind of stunning him for a while, he ended up flipping Return, bringing back a value, but now it's been negated, so he was able to do crazy fusion or synchro combos.
Oh, yeah. True.
It was bad. That I instantly lost there. Ugh. But
Yeah, it's just Bayou's a very hard deck to like beat consistently. It's just kind of they got all the one-ups, and eventually they're gonna sack you in a game or 2.
yeah, that's why I definitely
Or
like.
4. Okay.
Yeah, that's why I definitely love the tomato builds. I kind of feel like people that don't run tomatoes are kind of leaving games on the table, along with the Vortex main, because like it's just such a good catch-all. Like if they have a Dyna, if they have a Vanities, if they have a Caius, so they have a Cataster, Colossal, so much, just like bye-bye.
Yeah, for sure. And the tomatoes getting extra plants in the grave is really, really nice too.
And I remember there was one game where I was up against a Cataster and I'd already gone through my Snipe Hunter. I had a Lone Fire and I'm just like, screw it. Lone Fire into Tomato.
Wonderful.
And that gave me some extra time to eventually Mark of the Rosa and then do a nice reversal. Because I think, he had a Cataster plus an Ab Zero, and I was able to then like Mark, take Cataster, crash into the Ab Zero, clear and then set up a nice counterplay.
Oh, that's always a nice play.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
always a nice play, yeah.
So yeah, no, I mean, we're at, I don't know if there's anything else you want to chat about before we kind of wrap it up. I don't want to leave you for too long.
I don't know. I just it's a good list. I don't know what I would change out of anything. I don't. I think maybe I would change the wing blast to maybe Geki breaks or something else in the main deck, just because the putting things on top of the deck didn't really get rid of problem cards that easily. But other than that, I think the deck list was pretty much perfect. I don't think I would change this version of the deck. I might try a different version, but I don't think I would change this version very much at all.
I don't know. I've definitely swapped back and forth. Like I was for a while on the mindset of people don't play Reki Break because it only has a super rare printing. It's not pretty enough. But I don't know. I feel like so much of the times just messing up your, like again, if my opponent didn't have the freaking Allure of Darkness, putting that on top literally wins the game.
Oh yeah, of course.
So, and like against a situation where they had the Plague Spreader set, I mean, Orgeki breaking that
obviously not very good.
I mean, because yeah, even if they milled a fourth Dark, they can just stack, bring out Plague, and then drop Dad. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's a very tough decision because there's advantages to all three of them, and there's disadvantages to all three of them.
Definitely. Because like sometimes you do just want to out the impression permanently, but like there have been games I've had where like even Trap Stun, which I kind of did want to put in my side, but ended up not. But Trap Stun on an oppression sometimes actually wins in and of itself because a lot of times, you know, they draw Dad, they draw Return, they want to Synchro Summon, and they can't. So like you stunning them for a turn, doing a power play, then passing, and then not needing a special summon your next turn. Sometimes like, oh yeah, that's kind of it. So like even doing the more powerful play of also killing their dead draw or killing their draw next turn. I don't know. It's yeah, it's definitely hard to say.
It's a lot of the times.
Sometimes I'd say against like our worst matchups, like against Gladiator Beasts and Blackwings, I do like the extra trap. Like actually my RBT Rulers list, which I remember getting like 12th place in, I ended up actually siding to Orgeki Break along with Karma Cuts, because I kind of figured that having just like more answers to their normal summons and whirlwinds and stuff kind of was an interesting play, and it actually kind of did work decently well. I don't know if that's ever something anyone else wants to revisit, but definitely when you go above 42 cards, I feel like you kind of need a bit more. Cards.
Definitely. And I definitely find myself putting in more of those traps against Gladiator Beasts, especially because they're so low on the monster count.
Exactly. No, that's something a lot of people. Like I see people are like, oh, put decrees in against GBs. I'm like, you know how many freaking Book of Moons and Shrinks they run? Like that's not. Like you don't know. Like you don't know what you're really facing. I feel like most of the time, like yeah, I guess maybe I'll hurt their road or something or compulse, but.
Yeah, like when I first started playing Edison, there's a lot of GB at my locals, and I was like, okay, it's a back row deck, gotta put in the back row removal. And then eventually I learned, I was like, okay, if you get rid of the one monster, what are they gonna do? And I just started citing in all the monster removal, even though there's very few monsters in the deck.
Like definitely two bottomless, I love. And I kind of like that one guy, even though he didn't end up topping RBT Indy, I did see him on stream, and he was running D Prisons and Wall of Thorns. And I'm like, I love that card. I love Wall of Thorn. It's like Mirror Force if they attack your plant. And it's great because you should really only run one. Really should only run one, but you run the one, they see it, now they're like, oh, you might run three. I don't know. Yeah, yeah. Well, I don't know if there's anything else you want to say before we wrap it up.
Not particularly. No, I think I said all about all I wanted to say.
Nice, nice. Well, again, thanks for repping the deck. I was very disappointed at first when I just barely missed Top Cut, but when I saw you running it and the fact that you net decked me, I was like, oh, that's actually like, you know what? I'm happy. I felt the top three, so I was very excited and definitely very disappointed when you didn't end up getting top 8. But you know, it happens. Oh, maybe you want to talk about your side a little bit. I don't know, before we 100% peace out, like your side deck swaps.
I think it was probably pretty standard for this deck. I think the skill drains are pretty standard. The siders, the 1-ups, the Trinade, the Brink on the MSG. Had a couple more discard traps for the Gladiator Beast, Black Wings, and just like more utility and matchups where Karma Cut's a little better. The Gale, obviously, for Black Wings when you want to take their Shura and you want to activate it and then you want to Black Rose them or whatever you want to do. Or make Armor Master, because that card's crazy.
Oh yeah, no, not Armor Master.
Aaron I might consider cutting because
What?
it didn't do a ton, but I just think I didn't run into the right matchups for it.
Yeah, I mean, it's for frogs.
Oh, good.
Like, I feel like Karma Cut and Aaron are mainly because of the fact that Lila and Wing Blast aren't really doing as much against that matchup.
For sure. The Gladiator Beasts, they were... I didn't run into any Gladiator Beasts, so they never came in. But in other testing that I've done other than the tournament, I really like those for the Gladiator Beast matchup. It feels like it makes it a lot more winnable. And then I ended up on the 1 Transmigration and the 1 Crow, I believe. Or no, I think this is a little different. I think I wasn't on the Kicky Break. I was on 2 Crow and 1 Transmigration for the tournament, which the Crows didn't end up coming in that often because I didn't end up playing against any like Forgs or anything. But the Transmigration was pretty good against the Bayous and the Eurofrux and all of that stuff.
Yeah, no. That's definitely the weird thing I find with Crow versus, especially Vayu, where it just feels like, you know, like if I run 2 or 3, I normally only end up siding 1, because like, you definitely want to brick on 2. And especially with like how much they fill the grave, Transmigration definitely kind of feels more the, you know, more the wave in that area. And sometimes, you know, you can also do the benefit of you shuffle back like, you know, something you want to Lone Fire for, or, you know, because like, oh, the worst thing is when you want a Giga Plan, but you've already milled the Giga Plan, you got the Lone Fire out, and you're like,
oh. Exactly, yeah, that too. Same with running out of Titanials eventually.
Or, well, again, it's more of a me thing, but Snipe Hunter, that was one of the reasons why when I was first like really starting to love Snipe Hunter, I was like, oh, these millers are killing me because I want to snipe, but I've already got rid of the snipe.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I definitely should revisit Transmigration, but I don't know, I feel like it's also kind of tricky because a lot of times when like Forg or Gigavice want to hyper combo, like they've been saving the Trunade / Heavy. So I don't know. It's tricky.
Yeah, it's tricky.
But anyways, that was you know, congrats on the run. Is this your first like major top, or?
Yeah, it's my first major Edison tournament, I think, so.
Oh, nice. Oh, snap. Wow, you topped your first major Edison event. That's pretty awesome. Well, you're in for a good intro. Let's say that. Excited to see what you do in the future.
Me too, hopefully.
Yes, definitely more plants. We got to cook more plant brews, because like.
Yes, of course.
Oh my god, I don't know if you've seen my previous list, but like I tried Supervise and it's a mixed bag. You know, it's a mixed bag. Sometimes you're like, oh, I have a fertilizer and a hidden armory in the tournament. And I was like, oh my god, if I was running the supervise, this would go so crazy.
Yeah, for sure.
But no, we didn't brick, and that's the main thing.
Thank you for having me on to yap about your deck list, my deck list.
Our deck list. You're inspiring me to put triple Vortex back in the main. I feel like I doubted it. I doubted it, and it came to slap me in the face with that 17th place. So thank you for that. I'll definitely be running 3 in the future. But anyways, hopefully we'll have you back on the channel for your next epic top cut victory.
Maybe we'll see.
Yes, we'll see. We'll see. Anyways, I mean, hey, maybe we'll just cook up some cool brews and have you on for that too. You never know. But happy to have you on, and this was the not true Party King, the artist formerly known as the True Party King, signing out with Self Accord. Bye bye.